one by one. Bharat, Ramaswami, for you, what was your big takeaway?
Well, I think it all matters on what your expectations from this budget were.
Yeah.
So and so I think in one respect I do share the relief of Madhavan that the government did not try to clamp down on expenditures. On the other hand, as we have seen, even during COVID time, the government never believed in measures to boost demand. They did not, there was no move to expand the safety net and so on. And so those measures were not on the anvil this time around as well. I thought that given in my expectations, I thought actually, when I've seen the speeches of the finance ministers of the last 6 years when the BJP has been in power, I thought this was actually probably the best speech. The government could not have done very much because they were out of money. There is a contraction in the economy, but at least Nirmala Sitharaman took the opportunity to signal some sort of an economic policy in terms of the 6 pillars, all of which are laudable goals. As I see it is that 2 of those pillars in terms of health and infrastructure were somewhat spelled out in detail. The others are very sketchy, and we didn't get very far with respect to either inclusive development or in terms of minimum government, maximum governance, and so on. I think that from my point of view, I can see that if you set the bar low, it's that there is I don't see any damage to the economy in terms of the status quo. I think the opportunity that what I would have liked to see is that a greater attention. I welcome the attention on health and infrastructure, but I would have liked to see something more on safety nets and how to boost the purchasing power at the bottom end of the population, because we are facing a demand contraction, and it's only at the bottom end people will spend. People like you and me will.
Let me try and sum this up. Status quoist, safe, generally welcome direction of the budget from your point of view?
Status quo is, yes, in terms of, if this is what Atmanirbharta means, these 6 pillars, I am relieved. I think in terms of protectionism, it's only been some tinkering of import duties at the margin. Nothing major has happened. So I think there is no major snapping of links with the world. Of course, there are contradictions in the notion of Atmanirbharta that we want to give these production-linked incentives, and there is some protectionism which is inbuilt in that notion, and so on and so forth. But that aside, I think it's a kind of a.
So we've gone the range. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you, because I want to go to the others also. We've gone the range from Madhavan saying no-brainer, Professor Mehrotra saying disappointed and appalling, to Bharat saying